Thanks for checking out today's video, the 5 reasons why Luka Doncic will be the best player in the NBA this upcoming season. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep up with our latest content. And if you haven't seen our last video explaining Luka's rise to the player he is today, please go watch it by using the card above. Now let's get into it. To claim to be the best player in the NBA and world is a huge take and claim. You definitely have to have the it factor and be able to back it up. We've got the likes of MJ, Kobe, LeBron, all former players who have been the best in the league at different times. And again, in order to do so, you've got to have it. Well, Luka definitely does, and today we'll look at the 5 reasons why he'll be the best player in the league in 2021. The first reason is his passing and playmaking ability. His passing and vision on the floor is unmatched. At just 21 years old, he makes reads and plays that even 10 or 15-year veterans can't make or execute on a regular basis. He's averaged 8 assists per game last year and put up 8.7 in the playoffs. In the regular season, he averaged the 3rd most behind LeBron and Trae Young, so really elite and great company. At 6'7", he can see over defenses and make passes that others just can't. It's his greatest gift and the reason he's been compared to Larry Bird and also a baby LeBron James. The second reason is his skill and ability to score at all 3 levels of the game. Luka's skill set has been on display full circle. We touched on it part with his passing, but again, the second part of that skill set is his ability to score. His handle and ability to break down defenses to get to the cup, combined with his size, makes him an effective player around the basket. He can put it off the glass with spin and touch on either hand. He has a great Euro step to get around bigger defenders and a giant killer floater as well. He's just so skilled and is never in a hurry either inside the 3-point line, and it makes him deadly. His size really helps him in shooting, especially when he's trying to create space for his mid-range jumper. He's quick and shifty, and really he keeps defenses off guard by changing his speed with hesitation and also changing directions. His step-back jumper is a huge part of his offensive attack outside the paint, and he's really already mastered the footwork to knock those shots down, already at the age of 21. Due to this ability, his step back is nearly unblockable, again, because of the space that he creates on the actual step back. And as we saw in the playoffs, Luka can knock down big threes when he needs to, and you can just ask the Clippers about that. His ability to fire from deep with really unlimited range just makes him even more unguardable. He's not a great 3-point shooter percentage-wise, but you have to respect him from out there, and he does a great job taking them to at least have some form of a rhythm when he really needs to lock them down late in games. The Mavs do a great job of spreading the floor for him and running really effective sets, so he consistently knows where he's going to get his looks, where his teammates will be, and I think over time his 3-point shooting and percentage will eventually improve a little bit higher than the 33% that he's done on average thus far. The third reason is his surrounding situation and organization. Luka is in the best situation to thrive and do so for a long time. He is part of a very stable Dallas Mavericks organization. You've got Mark Cuban, who's one of the best and most vocal owners in the NBA. He will always publicly support his players and pay whatever he needs to in fines. In addition, he's always been willing to go for it, swing for the fences, and make teams better to compete and chase championships. The same cannot be said about some other organizations in the league. And another aspect of it is Rick Carlisle, his coach. You know, Rick is a very good coach. He's very tenured in the league. He's obviously won a title with Dirk and the Mavs when they beat the Heat. He has so much experience. He's coached really good players and Hall of Famers and always put his players in the best position to succeed. So you know he's going to be the coach, and that also bodes well for Luka and his situation. The next part is team construction and roster. The Mavs have size, shooting, and other ball handlers to really just complement Luka very well. Although Dallas runs, a lot of smaller guards and smaller guard lineups, those other guys and smaller guards are able to break down defenses and really spell Luka when he needs a breather. You saw this a lot in the playoffs against the Clippers. Trey Burke, JJ Barea, Seth Curry, all capable and able to shoot, make plays. So they have a lot of talent around him. And then when you add in Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleber, who can just knock down the three ball, spread the floor, these guys really complement Luka's strengths, and they don't necessarily fight to take the ball out of his hands. And obviously, you can't forget about the unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis. He's a walking mismatch. He's 7'3". He can run like a gazelle and block shots. Like, the additional time and rhythm that they gain, obviously having some playoff experience as well, is really going to catapult them into next season and really just help Luka. Having Porzingis there, he's a real threat, a budding star that you have to respect, so teams can't just always load up on Luka. The next reason is Luka's history and personal drive. Like, throughout Luka's basketball career, he's always played up to another level. He was always preparing for the next step, whether it was the NBA, the senior Real Madrid team, or whatever it was. He played in Slovenia and eventually moved to Spain. He played on the junior team and then went to the senior team. When playing for the senior team, he was looking ahead to eventually make it to the NBA. So he's always continued to grow and get better and put himself in positions to succeed. The NBA was the next step for him, and now that he's here, there is no other league or level that's better than the one he's currently playing in. Obviously, when he was growing up, he loved LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, and I think he's going to follow in their footsteps and use their games and the way they got better throughout their careers to improve and become the best in the league. Similar to when Derrick Rose proclaimed, why couldn't he be MVP? Then he went out and did it. I think Luka will do a similar thing here. He may not come out and say, hey, I'm going to be MVP next year, but his game is going to improve, and he already knows he belongs. It's just a matter of taking his game to the next level. If he improves slightly in his free throw shooting, cuts down some turnovers, and shoots it a little bit better from three, there's no way you'll be able to argue that he won't be a top 3 player in the league. Luka definitely wants to be great. He has the confidence and swagger from knowing that he's produced at every level he's been at, and almost bounced the Clippers by outplaying 2 good players in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. The last good reason and point into why he may ascend is declining certainty from other players in the league. The top players in the game around Luka this year do have some question marks that could allow him to maybe slide up and take that top spot. We first look at Giannis and the Bucks. Giannis was bounced from the playoffs this year by the Heat. And sure, the Heat were good and they made the finals, but you don't necessarily expect that. There are flaws in the Bucks' system and game, and more importantly, Giannis' game, that have exposed themselves over the last few years. Teams have figured out if they load up the paint and make Giannis a perimeter scorer and shooter, that he's not as effective as he is when he can get to the basket. So Giannis and the Bucks definitely need to improve. If that team regresses and Giannis does not improve his shooting, then we could definitely see Luka passing him up. The next is one of the greats, LeBron James. Just won a chip, fresh off the title, really showing no signs of slowing down. But he will be 36 years old, and at some point, he may not do the things he's done for 17 years, and that's okay. We do expect him to still be elite. We don't expect he'll just fall off a cliff and Space Jam be horrible, lose all his powers. But the social fatigue of his dominance and just being there and being so good can really push us, and we know how the media pushes narratives, to really just anoint someone else. Now, Kevin Durant is my favorite player ever, and I think is the best player in the league when healthy. Yes, you can quote me on that. Sounds crazy, we believe it. But with him, he does have a big question mark coming off an Achilles injury, and his game doesn't really rely on athleticism. You know, he's similar to Luka in that his skill really drives his game. But in addition to his injury, he's got a new coach in Steve Nash, he's playing in a new city, and he needs to work out kinks and become comfortable with Kyrie Irving. So there are some steps to go for him in that team, and we'll have to just wait and see where they are this upcoming season. The next main player in the league is James Harden. Harden and the Rockets are obviously in a period of transition right now. You've got Daryl Morey, who stepped away. He was their longtime GM. He's the guy who brought Harden to Houston and really trusted in him and his abilities. You have Russell Westbrook as a running mate who is aging. Obviously, no Mike D'Antoni. It doesn't really fit the way they've played. I don't think they have a center on this roster still. So if the Rockets take a step back and there's some uncertainty about if Harden will continue to play in Houston, the new style of play, whatever it may be, then obviously that opens up a spot for Luka as he's getting better to move up. And then lastly, Anthony Davis, the consensus top 5 player in the league. He's a tremendous player, but obviously he does play with LeBron James. And Davis is elite. He's a huge reason why the Lakers won. He's able to guard everyone on the floor in his defense, and offensively, he's just a beast. But a lot of times, LeBron will get the credit, more of the spotlight, attention, whether that's always deserved or not. And I think Luka being the main guy, yes, he does have Porzingis, but it's not to the same scale yet. We think Luka having we think Anthony Davis having LeBron with AD not necessarily having to always shoulder the load can actually help Luka if he improves and gets better and the Mavs do better next year. So in closing, Luka is obviously the star of tomorrow, but tomorrow may already have arrived and been here because he is better than anyone ever envisioned, and we're fortunate to be able to watch his career continue to unfold. Don't be surprised if Luka is the league's MVP next year and he leads the Mavs to a deep playoff run. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop a comment below on your thoughts, what you think about the video, and be sure to subscribe to keep up with our latest videos. As always, we'll see you soon.